Take heed that no man deceive you. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world? And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. Take heed that no man deceive you. Take heed that no man deceive you.
Don't let no man or woman tell you that the Bible is wrong or that God is a liar.
I'm going to try and talk about in this video is about creation. And it's real obvious that, you look around in this beautiful world, even though everything's imperfect and in havoc, and us human beings are a lot to, to be desired. It's a miracle. It's unbelievable. There's evidence all around us that there is indeed creation. We were all created. Everything around us was created. It's all kind of in havoc now due to, issues that are being played out, and this is coming to an end, and we know it because of the Mandela effect. It's the first time it's ever happened, so it's got to mean something very significant that we're at the end game of this challenge that was played out. Now, in order to really get an understanding of the Mandela effect, or at least I had to do it this way, was to realize right off the bat about creation. If you take creation out of the picture or equation or in any way, shape, or form, you're going to start running into roadblocks and stumbling blocks and all kinds of issues where it's going to take you down the wrong path every time. Because I know initially with me, I of course, prayed about it, and then I caught myself still blaming, humans for doing this and creating this dilemma, which I thought it was at the time. I didn't understand that it was revealing these wonderful things about creation. So, even though I still mentioned God or believed in God, I still didn't really put him in the equation, and that's where you start running into problems. You have to, you have to put him in there. Then I came to that realization that, that he's the one that perpetrated this event, and thereby making a prophecy. So, and there's no way that humans or the opposition to Jehovah,
Satan and Satan helpers,
could ever have the power to reveal these wonderful things about humanity that have always been since the beginning of time. Not just humanity, but all living creatures on earth. The dinosaurs, which were here long before man or human beings, but you never know. We may have been around when they were roaming the earth, because there's evidence in Texas and a couple other places in the United States where there's footprints of humans and dinosaurs side by side, and they're both just as old.
He is correct. My soul never dies. It keeps going forever.
Now, some may argue that that was a time traveler footprint or something, but no, I doubt it. I bet anything, humans were on the earth all along from day one, since the beginning of creation. So this fact that we have always lived a parallel existence on a multitude of earths has always been since the beginning of time. And we, we're just, realizing all along, that this has been like this all along. And as soon as we, take creation out of the equation, then we're going to start pointing fingers and laying blame and, and start taking it real negative. And, that's the thing that the opposition wants you to do. They want you to think, point fingers, and, they want to take credit for this miraculous event, and then they want to turn it all around and make it seem like the fabric of time has been torn and everything's been ruined, and they're just making a big mess out of the whole thing. And that's exactly what they want us to do.
Everything I say on the videos, it comes from DALE Dufay's teachings. And please don't give me any credits for it.
Because as soon as we take the creation out of the equation, it's over. But if we keep that in mind and keep creation in mind and start to realize that things are not changing around us, that the things around us are just simply different because we're coalescing in another facsimile version of ourselves on a completely different Earths in a completely different location in the Milky Way galaxy. So you got to ask yourself, who has the power to do this? Of course, the person that created us and our souls. And he's the only one that has the power to manipulate this event. And because all along it's never been known, it's quite possible that even the first human couple didn't even know the fact that they were living a parallel existence on a multitude of Earths throughout the entire Milky Way galaxy. Of course, they were, in awe of their own creation, no doubt, and to the point where it didn't even matter. They didn't even know about anything like that. And of course, indeed, all of us don't really need to understand or know about this, but it had to be done in order to fulfill prophecy. And in order for this prophecy to be fulfilled, it would only indicate that the end of this system of things is coming to an end, or this system of things is coming to an end. I mean, it's not humanity coming to an end or the end of the world or anything like that. It's just the end of the system of things, which is what,
Satan helpers, EYA, Stavely, John, they're all, I only attack the ones that are talking against the Bible.
The system of things is run by the opposition, and they're just, trying to prove themselves, that their way is the correct way all along for eons now. And it's obviously hasn't been, because civilizations have fallen, and, and they can, there's all kinds of things happening, and that's all directly related to them. So it's all important that it all played out, and that it all had to play out, and it took this long. So as soon as we take creation out, we might as well forget it. So we have to always keep creation in the equation and realize that it was Jehovah that perpetrated this miraculous event. And like I said, it's always been this way. It's just something that's being revealed. It's revealing the mysteries of creation, the mysteries of God, which
He says the Mandela effect has always been, but we didn't know about it until Jehovah let us know about it. And these are Jehovah's sacred secrets. And that's how I found out that the Mandela effect is a test.
are indeed one of them, not the least being the fact that we all do live a parallel existence on these multitude of Earths. And whether we are privy to being able to coalesce into our other avatars or not, the fact remains that all of us, all life on Earth has a parallel existence. Even the trees, the grass, everything. Everything that's alive has a parallel existence, and the reason we know that is because the same trees out there in the yard, it's the same cat. That every shift it's the same cat. His spots are sometimes different and vary a little bit, especially the one on his head. But it's still the same cat. He's still.
All these videos are like 8 years old, and he predicted the multiverse and other galaxies.
The same personality and character. He still knows me, regardless of what portion of my soul is in this avatar, or in his avatar. That cat has a soul, and he also has splintered portions of his soul all over in the Milky Way galaxy, and they're all right next to me right now. And like I always like to say, there's every version of myself on every Earth is doing this video right now, and the cat's right next to me, every one of them right now. Everything's in a parallel existence, and we're doing it exactly at the same time, even though the times are different on each Earth, but due to the Earth's size, but yet it all still blends in and it remains the same. The time always remains the same. So if all of this is not creation, I don't know what is. It's why this event is so miraculous, like I mentioned in the previous video about this. Incredible. But this, again, it just always brings to mind that there's you always have to give credit where credit's due, and it's not any CERN facility or I grew up by Fermilab. They've been doing that, atom splitting and collisions for as long as I can remember there, and nothing ever happened, and just because the CERN facility's larger doesn't matter. It's still a little speck on the Earth. If you look at Google Earth and try and pinpoint it, it's just you don't see it until you really focus in on it. And then, so you can't tell me that a little speck of dot on the Earth has more power than the Earth itself. That's impossible. It's just it doesn't even, it's inconsequential, compared to the Earth's power.
He's debunking CERN.
And then to find out that the Earth has a soul as well, and it too has fractured portions all over the Milky Way galaxy. And we know this simply because there are the Earth, the Milky Way galaxy is full of Earths. It's just who knows? I'm honestly starting to think that there's as many Earths in the Milky Way galaxy as there are atoms in our body, or grains of sand on a sandy beach, or stars in the sky. Of course, who knows how many of those stars are another solar system that's a facsimile duplicate of our, of this solar system, because the solar systems are all very similar. Because the scale, the larger the scale, the more variations there's going to be. I still can't get over Mars having polar caps on it, ice caps. That's just too weird. But but there are going to be variations, and the larger the scale, the more variations there's going to be. So when you're talking the solar system, there's going to be more variations, like rings around Neptune. That's strange. I haven't checked this solar system, but it seems like all these solar systems in the inner Orion arm here are all very similar, and same with the Earths, are all very similar, but there are differences you can spot. I concentrate on certain things on Google Earth I've done videos about, which I can determine, and then there's always the things on TV. Sometimes YouTube's different, and there's many things to look for. The series reruns on TV, movies you've seen before are going to be different, things like that. And even within these Orion dwarf Earths, they're going to be different. It seems like each Earth has its own personality and character, just like us humans do. So, it stands to reason that, everything is living a parallel existence. Of course, the Earths and everything on it. So it has to be creation. It has to be, which would take anything this miraculous or this incredible as the Mandela effect would have to be perpetrated by the creator of the universe. It would have to be. There's no way that he would allow us to stumble onto something like that. I've always said, and maybe it's very possible, that that's what they were close to achieving at the Tower of Babel, where the languages needed to be confused, because that just goes to show how incredibly intelligent we were, and we did live longer lives, and we were much closer to perfection then. And we just gradually, completely lost it to this point. But it's starting to bounce back. It's going to be, to the point where us humans will return to perfection, and which would put us in a mortal state, like our souls. And that's all the way it was originally intended. That's why we cannot take creation out of the picture. So,
speaking of shifting, I think I shifted Saturday because YouTube looks different. All the YouTube squares, pictures, buttons, they're all different.